everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. I took a day off yesterday just to rest, but I'm back today with two stories that involve Prince Harry and what I personally feel is quite outrageous behavior or quite outrageous situations that he is embroiled in. And the first of these is, of course, the security saga. It rumbles on. We heard some months ago, when the Operation Bring Has-Been Home thing was in full swing, that he had written to the Home Secretary in the UK to demand a review of his security provisions, the RAVEC provisions. And of course, big mates at the time with the Home Secretary, that was Yvette Cooper. I think it was still under her watch. I might be mistaken, it might be the new lady, but we know he was chummy with Yvette Cooper because she dragged him along to Ukraine around then when he was on his triumphal return trip to the UK. And we've heard since mutter mumble every now and then how he was a fixated person, persistent stalker, was leaping out of broom closets when he was in the UK. To my knowledge, that was actually one of the most devoted squaddy members. But anyway, that's rumbled along, and now we know why, because we heard yesterday that a review is now underway. The government has agreed to a security review. It's underway. They've been getting input from the various parties, and the results might be out as early as next month. In other words, January at the time I'm doing this. And the press is all pumping hard with pro-Harry stuff. This is a wonderful opportunity for Harry to see more of the king and the king to see more of Harry, and the kids could be brought over finally to the UK, and on and on and on. So people are, in my opinion, rightly incensed by this story. I have the teller's tarot on the tarot table for this one, the old Dragon Slayer, because of course the 24-hour armed security in the UK, whenever Harry feels like rolling in to go on a chat show and say rude things about the royals like he's been doing in the UK and the US, that's taxpayer funded. So that's when your hard-earned pounds are going in the UK if Harry wins this one. It looks like he might. People are very suspicious. They're suspicious of the king's role in this. It's the king twisting arms in the government. They're suspicious of what the government is up to, the very unpopular government. Is this deflecting? The government saying, don't look here, look over there, look at the nasty royals and how they're squandering your money. And is that what's really going on? We're going to ask, is Harry going to win this round? And is Harry then going to spend a lot more time with the kids, possibly, in the UK? In my opinion, it is outrageous. The courts were very clear that there was nothing wrong with the provisions that had been made for him. So he decided to bypass the legal system, go straight to his mates in the Labour government, and possibly Parr. We're going to look at Parr. Sorry, I cut this weirdly. That was fine. That's just the way it rolls here, and we go with it. Those are the cards that obviously need to come out. These are big fat cards. Struggle to fit them in. But we'll see how we do. And we need to remind you, because I'm a little bit grumpy doing this reading, seemingly, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion. It's all speculation. Just read energy here, and disclaimer in the box below. We've got the Strength card, and it's in reverse. A couple of things with the Strength card. First of all, it is royal family. Are we undermining the royal family some more? Now, the Andrew story has kind of run out of steam at this point. I'm sure there'll be another round of it sooner rather than later. So what's next? Oh yes, there has been taking your taxpayer money to make sure he can just show up in the UK whenever he feels like it and ring random doorbells and, as I say, behave disgracefully, as in my opinion he's been behaving very recently in the US. He looked all his face on the Stephen Colbert show. More of that in the next reading. Strength is also just weakness and cowardliness and fear. If you're afraid, if you're not such a brave mouse who goes marching through the house and you need your 24-hour armed security to protect you from fixated persons, well, there it is. Coward. That's my opinion, of course, the Strength card in review. Also, interestingly, that this news came out over a weekend where Meghan was taking an absolute bashing in the media and on various platforms, chat kind of platforms, social media, because of her rather poor handling of her father's health crisis in the Philippines, shall we just say. And so Harry's come out, oh, I've got a win. See, I've won a security review. So I'm doing fantastically well, never mind what's going on with her, but I'm winning. And so it's deflection there as well from her story, but it also makes the has-been look good. And we all know he does love to look good, allegedly. I'm going to move that card out the way because I can't fit it in quite literally, but I will remember it. It's got a little showing there. Let's get to the heart of this reading. What are we dealing with? Security review, of course. 9 of Spikes is the 9 of Swords. And we're dealing with someone who's worried, who is rather anxious and rather tormented, rather nervous. And again, I'm getting this feeling of somebody who's just generally afraid. 9 of Swords, 9 of Spikes energy. You can be afraid, and sleepless nights, tossing and turning. He wants, very clearly, he wants to go back to the UK still, but he's frightened of going back to the UK in case bad things happen. I believe, and you know, who knows, there might be terrible things behind the scenes that we know nothing about. So perhaps he has every reason to be frightened, but I think he really wants to extract himself from the United States. That's my opinion, and that he's worried, how's he going to do it? He's made a bit of a mess of things by bleating on about the security. He's got to get some kind of a win out of this security situation so he can go back to the UK without looking like he's gone back on everything he stood for, all those years and years of litigation against the British government. So let's look at what's going on with the has-been. Why is he so insistent on this security thing? Is he really in danger? We've got the 4 of Scepters. He wants to go home. That's the 4 of Wands. It's the home card. Obviously, Storyteller's Tarot isn't Rider-Waite based in its imagery, but the meaning of the card is still the same. 4 of Scepters or Wands is he wants to go home. It's interesting that it's the Crab, Cancerian energy. We know who the Cancerian in the family is, or soon to be King William. Harry wants to weasel his way back into the UK. He wants to go home. He does want to go home. It's the happy home. It's stability. It's part of that thing. He wants to claw, I think I can use that word with that crab there. He wants to claw his way back into some position of importance. Again, see the next reading. We're going to be looking at rebranding as Prince Henry of Wales, Sussex. So that's definitely wants to go home. So is Operation Bring the Has-Been Home still a living, breathing, manifesting thing, or is it dead? What's going on? We all thought it was dead. A 5 of Hearts is sorrow and regret. First of all, that's the general meaning of the card. So feeling very sad, very regretful about the way things have happened, very sorry for himself, not happy in the United States, I would say. With all the cards on the tarot table the way they are so far, I do believe he's very unhappy in the US. He is regretful of the way things have gone back in the UK. I do believe he is somewhat sad about what's going on with his father in that 5 of Hearts, but the artwork, Trojan horse. If he gets in, who else gets in? Let's look at the King. King's involvement, if any, in this sudden change of heart by the government. Oh yes, after fighting that court case tooth and nail. Oh no, it's fine, we'll just have a review after all. King's involvement, if any. And we got the Knight of Spikes, and it's in reverse. It's possible that there have been some instructions on the down low, because knights in reverse are silent, generally can be behind closed doors, kinds of communications, involvement. The Knight of Spikes, Swords, very strategic, very intentional, very, very quick. It's about protection as well, very military, very police type energy. I would say my sense coming off that card, and this is pure energy that I'm reading here, my sense off that Knight of Spikes in reverse, that is that yes, this is something that was communicated through back channels. I do believe that. I do believe that with that card in reverse, that this is something that's going on somewhat secretly, as I say, behind closed doors, communication going through. We need this to happen, and we need this to happen quickly, because the primary thing about the Knight of Spikes, Swords, other than it's to do with wit and intelligence, is it's fast acting, it's speedy, and it's got that rescuing energy for me. It's kind of rushing in. Do something quickly. We need this resolved quickly. If the king is involved, why in particular does he want this situation sorted out in Harry's favour? Allegedly speculating all of that. Is it to do with kids, grandkids? What's going on? And I've got the Five of Spikes in reverse. He wants the conflict to be over. He can't obviously come out with a big fat apology that Harry and Meghan are still demanding, allegedly. But Five of Spikes is the conflict card, the ongoing conflict. Someone's got to lose in that Five of Spikes energy. And in reverse, he's prepared to take this hit. He wants this conflict to be over. This compounds the sense that I have every time I read on King Charles, that his time is shorter than we are being led to believe, or he would like, or whatever, without banging on about that. It is just confirming that for me. He wants peace. He wants the situation to be resolved. Remember, we've got a crab staring at us on this tarot table over there on the Four of Scepters, and we know what's coming there. The door is going to slam shut, and you know, the boiling oil will be prepared, the drawbridge up, the boiling oil, and all of that for anyone who dares to try and enter that crab's cave. So let's move on to the government, the British government. What's going on with them? Why did they change their tune and relent and say, oh, okay, we'll order a review? What's going on? Two of Hearts is a reconciliation energy. It's fondness, it's liking someone, but it's also the King and Prince Harry wanting to facilitate that reconciliation, I believe. So there it is. Reconciliation, and also a genuine affection for the has-been. Whoever is making these decisions likes him, or likes his people, or whatever. It's something that they feel. They could even feel that the public might appreciate this, although that seems mad. So I'm going to ask the next question anyway. Here already has been determined as well. I've decided it prior to recording. What about anti-monarchy sentiment in the government? Is this a decision that is done intentionally to damage the British monarchy further? Any of that in this energy? And I've got the Eight of Scepters in reverse, and it's possible, because the Eight of Scepters is the other fast card in the tarot. As I said with the Knight of Spikes, one of the quick acting cards. The Eight of Scepters, the Eight of Wands, is fast progress, acceleration, unblocking, opening up something when it's upright. When it's in reverse, it's blocking progress. It's stopping something from moving forward and progressing in a popular, in a happy, and a productive way. And so there is energy for me as an energy reader that tells me that they do want to block the progress of the British monarchy. And they possibly want to block the progress of the popular one that's coming through, who's on the tarot table without his name being mentioned, the Four of Scepters, the crab, that they want to stop that progress and make him look bad somehow. So they can get the public riled up by saying, see, you're going to pay for the has-been to show up whenever he feels like it. It's all on you. And see what the British monarchy is costing you. We've already got the housing review underway thanks to Andrew and thanks to the mismanagement of those crown properties, in my opinion, and now has been adding to your financial burden as taxpayers and make it all extraordinarily difficult, even more difficult than it already is for Prince William when he has to come along and sort the great big fat mess out, my opinion. So let's put that Strength card next to that Eight of Scepters because I think it belongs there, my personal opinion. What about outcome? Harry, is he going to get his wish finally granted and get those armed police officers to trot around wherever he goes, and the flashing lights and all the rest of that stuff, the outriders and things like that, that he was so upset he didn't have this last visit to the UK? Is he going to win? I've got the Moon. He may not win. He may not win with that energy. It's also Mummy Diana. So he might have a little bit of a bargaining thing going on here. It's just coming to me with the King's energy, that Knight of Spikes in reverse, and Mummy Diana, because we are hearing an awful lot at the moment about Harry and a documentary that he's allegedly making or trying to make or thinking of making about Princess Diana on the 30th anniversary of her death in Paris in a car crash. Threats, because the only angle he's really got to play, a lot of people are suggesting, is that the royal family somehow was to blame for what happened in Paris. It's there, it's that kind of threat and menace and suspicion and doubt, and what are you really up to, what do you really want, what gun are you holding at Par's head there, what is really going on, and it's not very clear. It's not a clear answer to the review, but it's giving me the sense, my spidey senses are very suspicious with this Moon card. It's giving me the sense that there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes of threats, negotiations, ultimatums, those kinds of things that seem to me to be quite sinister and quite ill-intentioned and quite shady, shall we just say. I don't like that energy at all of what's going on. I think that there's a whole lot going on that we are not privy to with this whole security thing. If you don't, then I will. That's how it's reading for me. Very unpleasant. Just have to say that the Moon, of course, is children as well. So he could be playing that card quite strongly with Pa behind the scenes. Remember that the government, whoever is involved from the government side of things right now, wants this reconciliation. They think it will make them look good. I think I got that energy from Yvette Cooper when I read on that trip to Ukraine a few months ago. That I have memories of that coming through. So there's a lot going on. There's a hell of a lot going on here. Are we going to see the has-been back in the UK with the kids next year? Very clearly and obviously, yes, we are. The star, absolutely. This is what he wants. He wants them elevated. I'm sure she does as well. Although I'm not sure how keen she is to let them out of her grasp and let them go to the UK just with him. But remember, we've got the Trojan horse on the table as well, and herself in reverse in that Strength card. Always her. It's her, a major arcana for a Leo, the Strength card, of course. But the star is healing. It can be fixing the mess with Pa, bringing the kids over. Pa can pass over when the time comes for him. A happy man. He's achieved what he wanted to achieve and reconciled with Harry, seen the kids, all of that stuff. It's very spiritual. It's very As I say, it's soul purpose, energy. It's elevating yourself spiritually and all of that stuff, the star. So it looks like Harry's going to get what he wants ultimately, or we at least are going to see a lot more of him in the UK with kids. I do believe, whoever those kids are, and whether we actually see them, don't know. But there's something shady going on here with that moon card there. As I say, whether there's threats, whether there's fear, whether there's shady stuff going on behind the scenes, it's very hard for me to tell what actually is going on with the moon card. It's obviously, I can't tell what's actually going on, but I don't trust it. I don't trust Harry. I don't trust Harry's people. And then this instance, I don't particularly trust Pa either. And again, I'm drawn to that Four of Scepters, and I think there's a whole lot going on. Busy, 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 getting themselves all sorted out before that crab takes charge. That is my opinion. That's the reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.